I notice a difference between the ones that I would consider like upstanding dudes. I'm just going to give a couple of examples, and if any of those guys have a problem, feel free to hit my IG. But like Trill, I've never really heard him bash a woman. I've just never heard him bash a woman.
Never.
Um, Anton, who talks about how he thinks a lot of women are dope, but he will tell the truth about some of the ones he sees. But for the most part, he doesn't go hard really on women except on panels, and a panel can be a completely different animal. Um,
You
Ricky,
you see the
uh,
face. You see the face right now, right? Okay, I
no,
just want.
I'm
So I don't know. I
so
don't watch the content. So I mean, it could be that it's different on, but he did say unless he's on a panel, and we watch it
like
when it's on a panel. So I
yeah,
can't.
on a panel is a whole different animal. But like if you go to just using, and I'm not trying to promote him or anything, but you listen to his Millionaire Morning Show, it's a very very different guy. And the one I met is the Millionaire Morning Show one, and I respect him quite a bit.
Do you think?
Um,
Let me just ask you a quick
Go ahead.
question. Do you think if a person present two different ways in two different spaces, that they're a genuine person? Because typically, if you're genuine, it's going to be a consistency across the board. So if a person is presenting in two different ways, how do you know which one is the true person? And the reason I ask that is because, if we're talking about married men and prioritizing marriage, I would think it would behoove, if you're trying to say family is important, wife is important, things like that, that you would carry yourself and represent yourself in a certain way
But
versus
at the
being
same time,
in.
most upstanding men. At the same time, most upstanding men, if they see a person moving wrong, they're going to call it out. I don't see HD sitting idly by and just letting some random person, whether it be man or woman, on any panel talking recklessly, sit back and accept it. Is gonna, hey, let's call it out. Let's have the conversation. And
Are
I've
you
even seen
80% AP on this panel versus sitting on a different panel, or HD, or even me? Sometimes I'm on the Thursday show. I've been on Humble Dad's show. I've been on Trill's show. I'm on here every Friday. I don't think I'm different on each panel that I go to. I'm consistent in my thought pattern. I'm consistent in the way that I interact with the people on the panel. I'm consistent in the way that I ask questions. So I think that's where the question for me lies, is that if you say Anton is one way on one show, but then he gets on another show and he's completely different. My question is, what message is he sending? What message does he prioritize in his life? Is it a
that.
message of being on a show and, oh, my big thing is I need to call people out? You know what I'm saying? Is that his disposition naturally, or
Yes,
okay?
like that. So, and again, I wasn't trying to deep dive into Anton. I was using him as an example, but he's going to call out reckless behavior, whether it's on this panel, another panel, any panel. He's going to call out reckless behavior. But at the same time, when especially on his earlier two shows where it was just him, um, most of the time his messaging was to guys and about guys moving right and moving with purpose and moving with intent. And most of the guys that would listen to it would and apply it to their own lives would grow from it and see the change. And again, Trill promoted guys being leaders, and he would give guys more smoke than he would really give women. Humble Dad, another one. Hey, I'm gonna give guys the smoke, give you the information on how you need to move as a man. That's gonna change the result. But then you see some of these other panels where I'm not going to name any of these people, but you still got a group of married men talking crap, just blowing up on women. And in my mind, I'm like, is that how your wife behaves? If not, is that how your daughter behaves? If not, then why are you giving all of this smoke and talking all of this crap about women? One of the things that I personally took away from especially Trill and Anton was about the way you communicate with people, and I've seen a huge difference. And I'm gonna use an example that you stated earlier, mistaken, when you said when you're about your business, you have this look on your face. Well, if I come across you and you have that look on your face, I don't say things like, "Hey, girl, you need to smile." I don't do that. I say, "Hey, sis, how's your day?" And you know what? I typically get positive reactions. I'm not trying to hit on you. I'm not trying to come for you. I just change the way I speak and acknowledge you. Thus, when I hear some of these reactions that a lot of men get when I'm listening to this space, I'm like, you might want to listen to these other men that are giving you some game, and you can actually change your own result, and you can change your interactions with women. And the truth is, that's actually by becoming more masculine. By becoming more masculine, you begin to understand more about the female nature. And if you, as a man, because I believe men to be the lead, the head, and that's in all things. And if you're going to say that in all things, that means you have to change the way you approach and talk to women if you want a different response. So now that I've transitioned to a, "Hey sis, how's your day? Sis, are you good?" I don't typically say queen, I say sis. Like I don't use the N word in my daily speech. If I'm talking to a dude, I say, "How's it going, brother?" The response that you get is vastly different than, "What's up, nigga? How you doing?" It's vastly different. It's vastly different than, "Hey girl, won't you smile looking all mad?" No, sis, how's your day? Brother, how you doing? All right, you have a great day. Do it with a smile. You'd be surprised at the outcomes that you get. And that was the point I was trying to get to. Um, the married men in the space, I don't understand where they come from too often. And I'm talking about the ones that are constantly, "Oh, you women need to do this. You women need to do that." Well, shit, do you want her to lead you to? Or how about you put out your hand, touch your hand softly? "Hey, sis, come with me. I got you." You'd be surprised the outcomes you get if you try different things. And I've actually learned a lot from this space. There's a lot to learn from this space, but you can't take that negative. You can't take all of that negative and take it with you. Bring it with you. Let it consume you, because you'll learn that your interactions will become the same as theirs. And I've always wanted to self improve, and the more I improve myself, the better outcomes I get. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I was a little late, but she woke me up. Like, "Hey, don't you have a show? I didn't mean to wake you up, but if you're going to be on the show, I got you." Those are the kind of outcomes that, in my opinion, most men want. And I'm gonna end with this. Just bear with me for a second. I'm gonna end with this. Last night I was watching Malcolm X, which I think is a great movie. There's a scene in that movie when Malcolm X goes to the police station, and he has all the brothers outside, and he tells the police officer, "I recommend you look out of your window." And all the brothers are standing there, and it's like, "All right, okay, let's get this man to the hospital." So they take the man to the hospital. He marches the guys to the hospital, and they stand outside, and he waits on the doctor to give him the update, and that's when he and the other brothers walk off. And the police officer said, "That's too much power for one man." That's the state we need to get back to as men. If we're moving like that, that leaves the women optionless. If we are leading that way, that is the brother that they can get behind. I know we talk about pushback. The women, they always trying to pull us back. If you did it anyway, can they pull you back? Can they? Because I think if we got to a state like that, we could get a whole bunch of things done and accomplished, and the women will be right behind us. And when I say behind, I use that word on purpose because we lead. And if you don't think that, and if you think that they're pushing back, change the way you interact with them and watch the way they change for you.